every country in the world follows accrual IPSAS and uses it for good fiscal management. Do we want that?
Yeah.
Is it happening?
No.
Maybe if we see SIGFA reports, IFAC reports, and what Ian, Ross, everybody says, maybe we are on the track. But definitely we are not there yet. But why? Andreas said something in the morning. He said like, is it really that those who have to do fiscal management may not really understand accounting too well that they are not able to use? Should there be that space to collaborate? This was what was bothering us in the World Bank. And bothering me personally much earlier. When I was in Government of India, we went and did a presentation in the Indian Parliament. That's one bucket on like the fundamental question, is really accrual accounting useful for fiscal management? That's one. Number two, we all have the PIFA. We heard of PIFA. Many of you heard PIFA. Now let me ask you a question. So the PIFA is a measuring tool, as you know, for PFM systems. So there are 94 dimensions or points of measure for PIFA. 94 points of measure means what? Where we score A to D. Can anyone guess how many would be accounting and financial reporting? Other than, of course, my PIFA colleagues. Yes?
2/3.
So, is it 2, 3, 2/3? So, if we look at it, like 10 is the total number for pillar 6, but that's a misnomer. So it's 1. If you take financial reporting, on the face of it, you think it's 1. This book says, there is one indicator. No. That one indicator is only the report, not about accounting. And the accounting is 10. And if you further expand it, a rough calculation gives you 63 out of 94 dimensions use accounting information. It is finance, accounting related information spread across the PIFA framework. Now, if it is so much, so which means what? Good PFM means good PFM requires good accounting and vice versa. Now my laptop locked. Let me open it. Okay, for my notes. Now, if what we try to do is, then Boni, my colleague, some of you know Boni, I and few of us, we try to say, let's fix this. Let's try to think like even within the bank we get this question. How to use accrual accounting for fiscal management? Can we conclusively close this discussion? And that's where we started working, which resulted in this book. Many of you picked copies. Thank you so much for picking the copies. So we printed exclusively for this conference purposes just out of press last week. So that's the origination of this book moving where you got. So now, let me now go into what did we find very quickly from this. What did we find? Where did we find? And what next? So what did we find? We got we believe that we have a solid evidence building on all the things that are happening across colleagues, across this room and beyond, that accrual accounting is fundamental for fiscal management. And for that we see a lot of evidence. Say for example, if you even look at like good fiscal management without good PFM systems doesn't work. If your PFM systems are dead, forget fiscal management. There's no management, it's just using money. Now, just to give a couple of examples. Understanding full commitment controls and areas. So what we call as an indicator 22 and expenditure areas. This we saw as a part of this study that there is very significant level of improvement wherever countries have used accrual accounting. So that's an evidence we were able to pick. Hidden liabilities, including loan guarantees, lease obligations, and fiscal planning, how well they use. We found evidence relating to that when we went through this study. Obviously the asset management and maintenance of assets, there's very strong evidence as to how accrual accounting is leading to improvements in that. Pension management and the unfunded pension and the intergenerational equity. Fiscal transparency and accountability, we also found evidence that fiscal transparency and accountability leading to improved faith in the international community, and also those who are essentially evaluating and setting a sort of like accreditations. So there is very significant improvement we saw on this. And finally, if we take PFAR, so wherever accrual accounting is used across all pillars, we except the first pillar, PFAR scores have gone up if accrual accounting is used. Which means what? That's a very direct correlation between good PFM systems and PFAR, which I already mentioned, which leading to the to greater fiscal management.